this lesson we're going to cover some left-hand techniques, and in these techniques I just actually did a few of them. We have slides, we have pull-offs, we have chokes, and we have hammer-ons. So we're going to just cover those, and I'll show you how to put them into a song. But a slide is when you put your finger down on the fret, you pick the note, and simply slide the finger. You're only picking the note once. The sound is coming from the left hand. You can slide forward, and how far you can slide actually depends a lot on the quality of your instrument. You can also slide backwards, but it's not as loud. So that is a slide. Anytime you go from a higher note to a lower note, if it's fretted, you can slide. So if we were doing Twinkle Twinkle, instead of moving that 5 up, you could slide it up. And then that's not a good example of where you would actually do it. You just need to understand that anytime you're going from a higher note to a lower note or a lower note to a higher note, you can slide. So I'm actually doing hammer-ons there, but you saw the slide here. So a slide, you keep your finger down and it simply slides up and down the string. You can go from a higher note to a lower note, or a lower note to, a lower note to a higher note, or a higher note to a lower note. All right. The second one is a hammer-on. A hammer-on, you could actually go from an open note to a fretted note, or from a fretted note to a higher fretted note. So to do a hammer-on, you pick the string and you bring your finger down. If you lay your finger down, you're going to kill the string. That's laying it down. What you want to do, you should be able to get a sound. If you don't even fret, if you don't even pick it, you should be able to get a sound just by bringing your finger down. So if you want to go from a lower note that's fretted to a higher note, we'll just do let's do 2 to 3 because it's easier. Actually, let's do 3 to 4. So put your ring finger on 3 on the melody string, and what you're going to do is keep that down, pick this note, and bring this finger down. Do not lift this finger up. Don't lift the back finger up. Here's 1 to 2. So what you're doing is you're leaving that back finger down. That's the note you're leaving from, and and by the way, without picking, you should still be able to get a sound. The problem with that is you have to hear this note too, so you have to pick it. So that's a hammer-on. So what we're going to do is we're going to hammer on 1 to 2 and slide up to 4. So put the 1 down, hammer on to 2, slide to 4. So here I did a hammer-on, open to 1. Then I did 2 and slid up to 4. So I did a hammer-on open to 1, hammered on to 2, leaving the 1 down, and then slid up to 4. Obviously, when you slide up, you're going to have to lift that finger up, but you get the idea. Okay, then you have a pull-off. A pull-off is where your finger is already down and you're going from a higher note to a lower note. And you're not lifting it off. like this, you're actually picking it off to the side. If you're pulling off from one fret to another, let's put 1 and 2 down, and we'll incorporate these into some songs later on. What you're going to do is you're going to pull the top finger off, but you're leaving the 1 down, so that's a pull off. You could just you could do a double pull off 2 to 1, and then pull off the 1. Pull off the pointer, then the ring. Pick it, pull off pointer, then ring. So here I went, just as an exercise, open, hammer onto 1, hammer onto 2, pull off 2, pull off 1. So we have slides, hammer-ons, and pull-offs. So if you're going from a lower note to a higher note, or a higher note to a lower note, you could slide. If you're going from a lower note to a higher note, you can hammer on. If you're going from a higher note to a lower note, and then you have a choke or a bend. And what you're going to do is put your middle finger down, or you're going to put your pointer finger down on the middle string. Doesn't matter where you do it, we're just doing it here. You're going to pick the note and bend it. You don't use those too often, and it's not. Yeah, we'll leave that one out. Edit. So work on those left-hand techniques, and then we can put them into some songs and some things a little bit later on.